his lips. "Lady Gossett, you look enchanting today." A gallant from another time, the Admiral still considered himself the rake he'd been in his younger days, and Lady Gossett could feel her son's spine stiffen at the man's familiar tone. Oh, what was it with these young people today, that they so disapproved of their parents' rakish and devil-may-care manners? You'd think the British, with their youthful new queen, would quite embrace life, as they had done in generations past, instead of standing so upright that one expected them to snap in the first good wind. "My Lord Admiral," Lady Gossett demurred, as she politely tried to pluck her fingers free, with little success. "I am quite honoured to see you again, and on such a capital occasion." "Ah, yes, my lady. Most excellent," he said, winking at her, in a way that suggested he had other ideas for the day. She paused for a wicked moment, then replied, "And how is Lady Fareham? Still in London, or has she gone down to Bristol for the rest of the summer? I do say, I haven't seen her in an age, and must make sure to write to her this very afternoon a full accounting of the day." At the mention of his terror of a wife, the Admiral released her hand, and Lady Gossett folded her fingers demurely in front of her, as an impeccable matron should, but not before she shot a glance at her son, as if to say, "There, is that dignified enough?" John looked as if he wanted to keel-haul her, but then again, she doubted her proper son would ever entertain such a disreputable thought. "A most excellent sailor you've raised, my lady," the Admiral said, slapping John on the back and changing the subject, obviously more than happy to avoid a discussion about his wife. "Takes after his father, doesn't he?" "Yes," she replied. "He does. Or rather, he did." "Like father, like son," the Admiral bustled, his mutton-chop whiskers working up and down. "Gossett was quite the yachtsman, wasn't he?" "Yes, my lord. He loved sailing," she said, glancing away at the mention of her husband. Images of him flashing through her memories. Idyllic days at the seaside, the children playing on the beach, laughter ringing over the waves. And Brent, always Brent, smiling over the children's heads at her, love shining in his eyes. They'd had a good life together, until... "Shall we begin, Lord Gossett?" the Admiral asked, and John nodded and led the way to the raised deck at the stern of the ship. As the ceremony began, with the crew standing at attention on the lower deck, reporters milling about, and spectators crowding the docks below, Commander Lord Gossett, England's beloved hero, became Captain Lord Gossett, and as the Admiral droned on and on, Fareham did love the sound of his own voice, Lady Gossett found her attention wandering. Her gaze drifted across the deck of the ship and out toward the docks. She tried to pay attention, but, botheration, Fareham was a dull old bag of wind, and the salty scent of the sea was in the river today. While others might pinch their noses shut in dismay, Lady Gossett loved the sea. Her toes curled in her half-boots, and she wished for a wild, crazy second she was sailing away with John on a ship toward the edge of the horizon and all the mysteries that the world beyond held. Beyond London, beyond the green, tame meadows of England. A bit of a breeze curled at her hair, all done up properly beneath her bonnet, but teasing her none the less, like a lover's secretive, tempting kiss. Like a whisper from her past. It was like having a life, long lost, dangled before her, where she was Lady Gossett no more, not even Lady Philippa Knolles, as she'd been known before her marriage. No, when the sea whispered to her, she was Pippin, the nickname of her youth, the girl who'd risked too much, risked everything. Fixing her gaze on her gloves, she told herself she needed to appear the admiring, proper mother. But something inside her, something long forgotten, clamoured to be let loose. "Remember, Pippin," a voice whispered in her ear. "Remember me." She blinked for a moment, and she was no longer on the